I'm just cutting up some cilantro because we would like to have more cilantro through the summer. So not too far down. Smells wonderful. What are you doing today, Maureen? I want to talk about the 10 pollinating plants that are great for your garden. Plants and flowers that are super pollinators are so important for your garden, whether you are on a farm or even on a city lot like what I have. You know, they are going to bring beneficial insects to pollinate your vegetable crops and can help deter pesky pests. They can be paired with specific vegetables for better growth, like when you plant your onions with your peppers together. It adds an extra protection. If you think about broader environmental benefits of planting pollinators, it'll support your local ecosystem in improving your soil health and reducing the need for chemical pesticides. That is a good thing. And this particular plant, which is on the list, is one of those things where we're going to talk about. This isn't a complete list, as there are many other pollinators that you can have and you probably do have in your garden. The ones I've chosen specifically, they tend to grow in most grow zones, and they are drought resistant and need very little care, which then it lets you be able to tend to the rest of your garden. Sort of like little soldier on guard, taking care of things while you go and nurture the veggies. I want to talk about the reason to have them and the companion benefits of each one. Most of these ones that I have in my garden are pretty young because the season is still early, but there have been some plants in the spring that have been standing guard and bringing in all those beneficial insects. We're going to do like a countdown from 10 to 1. Number 10, Nasturtiums. The reason to have them, they attract pollinators and beneficial insects while also repelling pests like aphids and whiteflies. And they are kind of like a trap. The companion planting benefits. If you plant your nasturtiums near cucumbers, tomatoes, and cabbage, it's going to deter the pest and attract the pollinators and be that trap crop, drawing the pest away. And last year I was seeing where aphids were covering in my nasturtiums. Still pretty early right now, but it just did the trick. And they're very, very tasty. You can eat the flowers and the leaves. Number 9, marigolds. The reason to have marigolds? Marigolds are known for their pest repellent properties, deterring nematodes and other garden pests. And normally you'll see most marigolds are little ones, but these ones that I grow here, they get super big and super huge. In my front yard, I have one in a grow bag, and that one basically takes over the entire grow bag, and it's just full of flowers all through the summer, and so the bees all just come around. So I do strategically plant marigolds throughout my whole garden. Companion planting benefits. You want to plant your marigolds near your tomatoes, peppers, beans to repel those harmful insects. Their bright flowers also attract beautiful pollinators and beneficial insects. You know, they really like that bright yellow, bright orange thing. Number 8, zinnias. Reason to have them? Great thing is that they all have different colors and they bloom right up until frost. So this is a really great thing to have because it's just going to keep on bringing the insects and feeding them, which is what you want. And they are a favorite for butterflies and beneficial insects. The companion planting benefits. Zinnias can be planted with vegetables and herbs to attract pollinators, beneficial insects like ladybugs that feed on the aphids. So I have this beautiful zinnia along with some alyssum, and here is marigold and of course some nasturtiums. And this is all in my little herb patch. So having these beautiful flowers here, this is all gonna benefit all my herbs. And that's a good thing. Number 7, black-eyed Susan or Rudbeckia. The reason to have these bright yellow flowers attract bees and butterflies and are easy to grow in many climates. The companion planting benefits. Black-eyed Susans can be planted with vegetables like squash and tomatoes to attract pollinators and beneficial insects that control pests. Again, they're very drought resistant, and so they need very little care. This one here in the pot in particular, I planted that from seed a couple of years ago, and it just takes care of itself. I give it a little bit of water, a little food, and she gives Mama all the flowers that she needs. Number 6, Comfrey. The reason to have, its bell-shaped flowers are highly attractive to bees, and the plant can be used as mulch to enrich the soil. They also have a deep rooting system, so they bring up minerals and store those minerals within the plant. They're also one of the best things for adding to my poo-poo juice because it has the right amount of nitrogen and carbon. And so we're just gonna take some of these. It's super drought resistant. It continues to flower all summer. You cut it back, it just it just continues to keep going, and it's just a good hardy stalk. Mine has fallen over just because it's gotten so big and so heavy, so I do need to come and do a really good pruning of it so that it does stay upright for the bees to come and get it. Whether you're putting your comfrey right into your regular compost and letting it decompose there, or whether you just chop it up and put it into your poo-poo juice, that stuff stinks, but it works. You're adding in just great carbon and nitrogen right into this water. Let it get submerged, give it a little stir to our soup. And we're adding in some great nitrogen and carbon. As it breaks down, this is gonna just enrich our compost tea. Want to see something creepy and really gross? This right here. The very first time I saw them, I thought, looks like a rat baby. Ugh. Okay, you need to have some context about why I would think that that bug was a rat, because we were having my rat epidemic in my backyard, and so just seeing that little bobbin with its tail, it's like I was thinking it was a rat. Whatever you do, Maureen, don't drop your phone in here. Oh yeah, there's one. There's one swimming. I don't know. I don't really know. So this is what it looks like. Get that into focus. You see it has its little tail. So I went and looked up what the heck these were, seeing that they're not rat larvae. And what they are is that they're the larvae for hoverflies. And so they are a beneficial thing. So when they are in here, I don't need to fray and fret. They lay their eggs in my poo-poo juice. Absolutely disgusting, but so beneficial. Number 5. This is a mock orange tree. The reason to have, during its flowering period, which it's sort of kind of getting done, which is totally okay because the other flowers are coming up. It has beautiful fragrance, so that is a benefit to me. But the white blossoms, they attract a variety of pollinators. So this will have bees and hoverflies and the zebra butterflies. I've counted like 7 zebra butterflies all over this tree at one time, and it's absolutely fabulous. Being that it's a cooler day, you know, there is not much action on it right now, and also because it is coming to the end of its season. Companion planting benefits. This is really great for fruit trees. And so my tree is here in ground, and then right next door are my apple trees. I've got 2 columnar apple trees here and a regular apple tree. I've got some grapes and other fruit trees that are growing here. So having the mock orange right here and the fruit trees here, this is bringing the pollinators that are going to help to pollinate my apple trees, which is great. And it is a very dense tree, so it makes a nice habitat for beneficial insects. It's snowing, and like I said, it smells wonderful. Even on the last of it here, it still smells wonderful. And twice a day I walk through here to go and tend to the chickens, and I usually come in with lots of petal carnage on my hair. Number 4, the California lilac. This is the shrub kind, which I do have 2 of them, but across the lawn I have a tree kind as well. And I didn't get around to pruning them, so they are really super big this year. Reason to have, with its clusters of blue flowers, it attracts bees and butterflies while offering dense foliage for garden structure. This is wonderful. It's drought resistant and semi-low maintenance. Companion planting benefits for it. The idea that it is semi-low maintenance is the fact that you do have to control the size of it. This little plant I bought for like, I don't know, $2. It was about this big. I had a great idea about planting 5 to represent each of my children, promising myself that I would keep it pruned. but as you can see, it's gotten out of control. So that's the only thing is the maintenance is, if you want it structured, you do have to cut it. But if you wanted this to be like a living fence or a windbreak, this is a great thing to have because it will get 40 feet high, 40 feet wide. It is a wonderful plant. And then I love all the blue carnage of the petals all over the ground. It's also a nitrogen fixer. Number 3, what do you think it is? Sunflowers. There are none there. Well, not quite yet. I am going to plant some sunflowers. I have not had success planting sunflowers unless they just kind of show up. So if there is a seed that just happens to be dropped by a bird, well then, yes, there probably will be. But when I have tried planting them, they don't show up, or even if I've done them ahead of time and tried to repot them, not very successful. But one of my dear friends who is good at growing sunflowers, she actually propagated her sunflowers ahead of time. So that's what I went ahead and did by putting them into a wet paper towel and then putting them into a Ziploc bag. So that was a few days ago. So I would like to look and see how they're doing. So I did leave them in sunlight. Sometimes I don't. Sometimes I will put a dark towel over them, but these ones, I wanted them to get the heat of the sunshine. So let's go through. This is the black oil, still nice and damp. Oh, great. So we do have some growth. This one is called Titan, and we don't have, oh no, we do have a little bit of growth with that one, but not with these other two yet. And this one is from my dear friend Shane. I don't know what kind it is. Oh, we got some really nice good growth with some of these. So I'm gonna let them continue a little bit longer before putting them into ground. These kind of look like the Titan ones. The Titans, they do say they take 110 days. So I am hoping that the weather will stay good 110 days from now. But if I was planting those sunflowers, this is the place that it would go, which it's gonna be near my corn. It also is near the bees. Planting your sunflowers near your corn is a really good thing. So the reason to have your sunflowers is that they're tall and striking. They provide a large landing pad for most pollinators. And then of course they produce seeds that will benefit birds or my chickens and other wildlife. The companion planting that they do provide shade around other plants, and you can use them as a support. So with it, you could actually plant your beans all around the bottom of it and let them climb up. So it becomes a living trellis for your plants. They also attract beneficial insects that prey on your garden pests. So they are the ones you really want to have because they will take out the bad guys. Number 2 is Borage, or is it Borage? The reason to have its blue star-shaped flowers are a magnet for bees and continue to bloom throughout the growing season. Yes, that is a bonus and a great thing for mama. And it has high value for its pollinator attraction, soil health benefits, and pest deterrents. The leaves and the flowers are all edible, which also makes it another great thing to have in your garden. And you know, doing the research that I was doing while looking at all of these different plants and the reasons why you want to have them, it helped me to realize I've got some really great pollinators in my garden, and also to start putting them around more. You know, I do have lots of Nasturtiums and Marigolds because I overplanted the Borage. I've been placing those throughout, whether in pots or in garden. And it says that it's a great thing for strawberries and for tomatoes, that it actually deters the tomato hornworm. So hello, Albion strawberries. Would you like to have a borage planted to support you? Last one, number 1. Got an idea of what it is? Go ahead, say it out loud. Lavender. I didn't know it at the time, but the fact that there are at least 4 different varieties of lavender in here, it is just a wonderful thing. It has a long blooming season, so it's just going to continue to bloom all through the summer. And of course, the wonderful fragrance. I love this one. I've called Platinum Blonde, so I bought it just for the reason for the name. But I love how tall it gets, so it is a really fabulous variety. Lavender is also drought resistant. These are all the reasons why you want to have it in your garden. It brings in the pollinators. I've come out you know, even into the evening. And there will be bees that will be taking in the last bits of nectar from the flowers. And of course, when you walk through or when you're weeding it, it is wonderful on how beautiful it smells out here. The great thing is now it's all over my dress. One of the great things about the lavender is that it repels the pests like moths, fleas, and mosquitoes. I do have a natural product that is for afterbite, and it has lavender in it, but I actually put it on before I go out. I just rub it across and on my clothes, and it seems to keep the mosquitoes away. So it's kind of double duty. It's wonderful because it can be planted near cabbages and broccoli, all your brassicas, and it is going to deter some of those pests. My plan this year was to actually take some of this and take it out to my front flower bed where I grow all my squashes, just again to bring in more pollinators, but I didn't get around to it. I'm pretty sure that's the song of my people. Didn't get around to it. I'd love to hear down in the comments, what are some of the pollinators that you plant in your garden that you are finding that are really successful? Because I can always add more to mine. So I want to encourage you to add some of these to your garden, you know, to help benefit all the vegetables that you're growing. Anyway, I hope you're having a great day wherever you are, and I look forward to seeing you on the next video. Take care, and God bless.